Hello and welcome back to the When Dirt Cast. We're going to be starting where we left off on Monday with part 2 of the season 1 featuring the CEO of MFL, Mathurin. So, right, Calver, take us away.
Yes, so we're still talking about the season 1 features, and then after that we will do a lot of questions concerning when this and when that. So stay tuned for that if you were submitting a question to us. And yeah, we're talking about the new contracts. So by now you should know more about these new contracts. So, but in short, Matt, let's say, what will the new contracts be like, and what was your decision-making process? Like, what is your thoughts behind those new contracts? Why are they needed, and why did you make them?
Yeah, so regarding that, we already had some feedback from users that wanted to have some stuff to improve, etc. in the previous season. So we factored that in, and also something that was super important was with the arrival of player progression for this season. Player progression an important stuff will be the playing time of the player, and so we saw that if there were no way to agree between managers on playing time of their player, it would refrain the users to sign contracts between each other. It could be like something that could prevent people, because they would just think, I prefer to own the player so that I can have like 100% control on it and know how many games he's going to play, etc. So we saw that it was important to have some clauses around that you could define. And at the beginning, it would be pretty simple, and it would be just a kind of a clause where you would be able to say, I want my player to play a minimum of 5 games, 10 games, 15 games, etc. And so you can add a clause into the contract, and if the clause is not respected, the agent will get an additional revenue share for the season. So that's the first way we are thinking to improve the contract. And then the other stuff, at the time of the recording, it's not sure that it will go live, because we are still having some technical stuff to fix and to know if we're going to have time. But at least if it doesn't come for season 1, it will be probably for season 2 or something like that. But something that we want to have is the ability to make counters offers, so that you will be able to say, like, you receive an offer and you will be able to say, no, I want to increase the revenue share by 2%, or I want to reduce this clause, or something like that. So we think it's also a nice alternative, like something nice to allow more negotiation without needing to be on Discord or like in Twitter DM, etc. You can do that basically on the site. And so yeah, that's the main stuff. And so this counter offers, it's not 100% sure that it will be released in season 1. We'll try to, but there's a lot of UX and tech backend stuff that needs to be considered, because it creates a lot of we don't realize it at first. We didn't realize it, but it creates a lot of additional stuff that we didn't thought in the UX, in the UI to make that. So we'll see if it's released for season 1. Another stuff that we want to have is an expiration date of the offer. Here it's less complex, but the idea is you send your offer and you define, my offer will expire in 1 day, in 3 days, or in 7 days. We think it can be also good for to make people accept the offers in a faster way. At the moment, we saw that a lot of people were waiting till the end of the season when you have an offer, because you didn't have like an obligation or an incentive to answer quite fast. So I think to have this expiration date in the offer can help both the manager and the club to sign contracts. So yeah, that's basically the main stuff. And the last one, but which is pretty complex, would be to when you're making an offer with your club, you will be able to have a confirmation to confirm back the offer. So let's imagine it's still something we're deciding if we are going to do it or not, because it also creates some additional it can be a bit more complex to sign contracts. But the idea would be, so you send an offer to an agent as a club, the agent say yes, and you still have the ability to say yes or no as a club owner. Why we plan we are thinking to implement that is because at the moment, for example, if you're like looking for a specific player in your roster, you just need let's say one center back. You have maybe 5 center back and you want another 6. You cannot send 3, 4, or 5 different offers to users, because if they all accept, you end up having like 4 more, and so that can be complex to handle. So that's why we thought like having this kind of confirmation that you can confirm would be a nice solution to that. So we're still exploring that here, but yeah, that could be something that we release for our season 1.
It sounds really great. I've been in that situation before, that I needed an upgrade for my gold team. And then, yeah, you do send 5 offers for 5 camps. And if they all accept, you have a big problem. And you gave up 20% rev share. So then to have that coming back to you for an extra confirmation would solve a lot. Plus, that counter offer. I know a lot of new users were complaining, I sent 10 offers, no one accepted it. But then if someone sends back, okay, but if you add 2%, I accept it. Or if you add 3.
Yeah.
So I think that's really great. It will really help with the in-game communication.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And because I think like people will still continue to negotiate on Discord because or on Twitter or live, because it's also much easier. Like you can talk, I'm looking forward to the first contract negotiation on the phone. For the moment, I haven't heard about negotiation like that have been done, but I'm sure at some point it will happen. But yeah, it's also, we also wanted to make it as smooth as possible, as simple as possible. If you are not on Discord or not on Twitter, etc., and you want to negotiate with users, here you would be able to send counter offers. Yeah.
Sounds really good. I'm very curious about the dynamic, how it will change gameplay, definitely.
And I guess also what we've kind of elephant in the room is that all contracts are being reset prior to season 1, so that makes it really great. We're getting these contract additions to the contracts or clauses, but also means that people who are new into MFL haven't got to worry about the concern, all the good players are taken, or actually now you can do the negotiation and get the play potentially you want if you do the scouting and looking ahead now before those contracts get fully released end of breakaway.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's something that we decided. It was pretty straightforward for us that it was different. Like we're entering a new area, so like and so we wanted to cancel them and to restart from a white page there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking about elephants in the room. The rewards. So yeah, I don't know when this gets released, if we know, but in general, I think for most people the most interesting thing, I guess, of course, it's like how high they are, but also what is your reasoning behind this tough decision to kind of set the rewards? Like, what do you consider with how high or like you made them, kind of the rewards? Like they are going to be increased by a lot. We don't know exactly how, but what went into that decision? Like, what do you have to be careful for or careful of?
But so basically to define the rewards, what we like to look at the past data of seasons, like season 0.7, 0.8, 0.6, like to see a bit more like the dynamics in the market, like what are the how many legendaries are there in specific divisions, like and so that's basically how that help us to kind of like see how many what is the total of legendary rares, like the value, kind of the value, then we convert this to kind of a value of players for each division, and so that help us to define the amount of rewards that we can give for this division. Of course, we divide that by the length, the average length of a player, because we know that a player will be used, let's say, on average for 15 seasons. So we cannot give let's imagine you use a player that is an uncommon player, like the average uncommon price is 10,000 MFL. We cannot, of course, give 10,000 MFL for this player if he plays in one division. We need to spread that out on his entire lifetime. Then we want the game to be sustainable for us, so we need to be able to continue selling packs. So it needs to be deflationary. I never managed to say this word, so Jimbo say it
was
for
pretty
me.
good. Deflationary.
Deflationary, yeah.
Deflationary.
Yeah. I can say that one.
Yeah.
I can say the English words.
Yeah, that's no, but yeah, we want it to be deflationary because that's we need to be able to keep generating revenue, to be able to continue to sell packs, etc. So in the end, on a global scale, we will always have a percentage that we will take that we will not redistribute to the users, basically. That's kind of our rake or something like that, and so that's what is our process. So it's super. We try to have like a super mathematic approach where we measure what's entered in the competition and what we will give as reward, and so we try to match that, and then we sometimes we can readjust a bit between the divisions because sometimes there could be too close to the value of the players in the division could be too close or something like that, and so we try to average that a bit more, and that's basically our process. I don't know if that's clear. Maybe
Yes.
not 100% clear.
I can see how you arrive at that decision. Yeah.
It's not as simple as, oh, we're going to increase everything by 5, or something like that. There's much more rules and conditions and things like that involve.
And actually, we've already. The thing is that's how we also really like. I don't know if you remember, but I think it was for season 0.6 or season 0.7. We recalculated a bit the reward. We readjusted with this formula because previously they were based on assumptions that we had for the first season, and then we used the real data of our the first alpha season that we had to recalculate them, and so now we'll see if it has moved or not, but we think they are like the ratio between the divisions, etc., are still pretty in line with what we should have for season 1. So then we need to see exactly by how much we want to increase them, and we are also thinking about for the distribution of the rewards on the different position, if we keep the same ratio or if we change a bit the distribution.
Yeah. I guess off the back of rewards, a lot of people, when they get their MFL's rewards, will go spend it on packs, whether that be during the pack drops or during or from the store where they can get the single player packs. Yeah. Will there be an increase in those?
No, it will not. It will not increase. Otherwise, it will be similar to us not increasing the reward. Let's imagine we increase by 5x the rewards of our competition, and we increase the price of the packs in our store by 5x. Then that would be basically not increasing the reward. So no, the idea is to keep the amount, like the number of points in our store, and then only to increase the rewards from the competition. And then if at some point we need to reschedule that or recalibrate everything, I don't know, maybe even season 5 or for whatever reason, or even season 3, of course we will have, if we need to change the value of the packs that we have in store, we will announce it in advance, so to let people buy with the points they accumulated, and then to turn to change that. So that's basically how we see it, but we don't plan to have a change of price for the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, I think in a previous episode I compared it to the central bank, that you can kind of play with some rates, right? And then because you want to have this deflation and not have, so
Yeah.
you can play with that a little bit to correct the economy, I guess, and control it a little bit more.
Yeah, that's yeah, I wouldn't say we are a central bank, of course not, but but no, but in the end, it's a lot about, there's a lot of stuff regarding supply, managing with the demand. You have some mechanisms that are similar a bit to DeFi, as we talked in part 1 regarding the stacking or this kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely it's pretty similar, and that's also something that we want to develop in the future regarding the economies, is that to have other ways for our users to spend their MFLs, so that it's not just on new players, new packs, etc., but that it can be also on some stuff. Maybe that could be some cosmetic, because we know from a lot of gaming, like other games, it works super well, the cosmetic, and people want cosmetic, and so that could we could also offer this opportunity as an economic perspective for MFL. That would be super good, because it allows to kind of burn some MFL points without increasing supply of players. But yeah, there could be a lot of other way to spend your MFL. For example, the development center is one way also, because you will need to spend the MFL to enter your players in development center. So yeah, that's how we want to continue in the future. We want to totally have more options in this ecosystem, and they could be strategic, they could be also cosmetic, there could be trying to have to more options in the MFL world for our users, for our community.
Great. Yeah, there was another question about that too, but we can ask that later. I think we covered everything pretty much about season 1 and what's going to change, and there were loads of questions from our listeners about afterwards for future seasons. So I thought we can do a bit of a quick fire round. So I will say when this or when that, and then maybe you can say in 1 sentence or 2 sentences, is it a short-term thing, is it a long-term thing, is it a low priority, or is it a high priority? Maybe that's
and just before we jump to that, I think it's also super important to realize that there is a lot of stuff that we want to do, and there is a lot of ideas that we hear and that people gave, and that's super good to have a lot of feedback from the community on the Discord, etc. The only thing that I want really people to have in mind is that it's always easier to have the idea than to implement it, and it's always faster to have the idea than to implement it. And so yeah, it's funny that we released season 1, which is the biggest update, and a lot of questions were about when other stuff, because of course, and that's normal, because people are impatient and they want even more, and we also want more, etc. But I also really want to emphasize on all the features that have been released on season 1, and when we look back at the journey, with the team that we have, I'm super proud of the team, of what the team has been able to achieve and to release in kind of a short period of time, because we started from scratch, and I think we now have a game that has a pretty good quality, etc. And so just wanted to also put a nice focus on that, because it's also a big milestone, the season 1, and we can talk about the future, but also good to be in the present a bit.
Yeah. But for me, it was also really ironic. We put on Twitter like season 1 featuring like with Matt, CEO, and then everyone's asking, what about after season 1? This. So
No, but
it
it's
could
normal.
be.
It's how it works, and
That's how it
and
works.
that's fine.
Yeah. Exactly how people work. We always want to move forward and quick.
No, but
Okay.
it's normal. It's exciting also, like when you have something and you want to see what's after, and that's normal. I think we also are the same on the. That's something that we are saying like together with Jan, is that we need to celebrate a bit more the achievements, because as soon as we release something, we are like
on to the next thing.
just like, okay, next thing, what we are doing, and that's cool. But at some point, it's cool to just step back a bit and look at what we've achieved, celebrate a bit, etc. So yeah, but that's normal. We are the same, so we want to
fair
always
enough.
move on the next thing.
I agree. So you ready for a quick fire round? when? Yeah. So just do one sentence and then about short term, long term, or
it's hard for me to only do one sentence. I'm like,
yeah, that's why I'm trying to ask you to keep it short. Okay, the first one is from Massive Ericsson. He asked about mid-match tactics and substitutions.
Mid-match, okay.
Yeah, in the middle of the match. Yeah.
I would say, what's the short term, middle term, or long term?
Yeah, we can do that also. Yeah, short term, middle term, long term.
Probably middle term, I think.
Middle term. Okay.
Just to complete, because I want to explain what we want is that it wouldn't be too hard to do. I think a mid-match change. Then there's two ways to do that. It can be predefined tactics that you can set in advance. If this happen in the match, then change that, or to have live decision that you could take, or both. Both are not super hard, and we probably would manage to do that technically. It's not the issue. But then what, especially for the second one, which is live, is that do we, like, if people need to be live on their match and seeing their match, then it would also create some other issues. So yeah, that's why also we are, for the moment, we haven't done that. I'll try to be shorter for the next one.
Right. This one comes in from our very first guest on the pod, Sturgeonator. Injuries.
Middle term.
Okay.
Middle term, okay.
Yeah.
Then from Bosco, player suspensions.
Probably short term.
Okay,
Ooh,
nice. The
short
first short term.
Okay.
The people will expect it next week.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Right, the next one's from Smoggy Petro. He's asking, when advanced set piece instructions?
Yeah, I think it would be between middle to long term, I think.
Middle to long term. Okay. Then from Bosco and Duff, they both want to know about the international teams. We played with them, of course, with the Euros. So when permanent international squads?
Wow. That's more long term, because so many implications there, hard to do. I think we could iterate some events like we did before, but to have something that integrates super well into our ecosystem, that works well, we haven't. I don't have, like, at the moment, the real way it would work. So I think it would be longer term. I think
longer term. And then again from Duff here, regional competitions.
It's kind of the same as international competition, a bit different, but is that you also need to understand how it would fit in the ecosystem. I think it could be probably middle term, but would also depend on the user growth, because at some point, if our vision here is like, let's imagine when we start to have like 5,000, 10,000 clubs, or like even more, 20, I think we cannot just have one pyramid. So there could be some other pyramids, and the way we could see it is that to have like our current pyramid, that would be kind of the World's League or something like that, and then to have like regional competitions where it would be like one would be Europe, or there could be like just France or like Spain, or so I think that would also depend on the user growth there.
Okay, good to know. Then from Vogon and Duff again. Duff has many questions. Delegating club management to another user, a feature that many people want or ask about. So when would that be?
Short term.
Shorter.
Oh,
Shorter.
convincing. You know, he knew the answer to that already.
I have like something to confess, is that after getting that 9th club and then thinking about season 1 and all the things I need to do, I got a bit like stressed. So I really want this. And I can make think is like also stressing out a lot.
For us, it's definitely a feature that we want to have, and to be honest, it's something that we've already worked on, that we have delayed a bit because we had some other priority, but I think a good part of the backend has been done, and I really liked how Jan imagined it, etc. It's super cool. So yeah, I think it would be in the short term probably. I don't want to commit on anything, but for season 2 or 3, I think that's, I don't know what is short term. I don't expect people to say short term is next.
I think season 2, 3 is short.
Next Sunday.
Short term for me is like in the next few months, like 1 to 3 months. Middle term is 3 to 9, and longer term is more than 9 months, something like that.
Okay.
But that may change.
The next one, also a feature which has been mentioned before. I think one that has also been mentioned in a dev update before a couple of months ago from Taggart, when individual player instructions.
I think that would be probably short term. In terms of that's already something that Quentin has worked on. I think it was communicated in a dev update at some point. We've stopped it a bit because we focused on other stuff, like especially the 2D that took us a lot of time. There was a lot of rebalancing to do for season 1, but also after 2D, like to fix some stuff that could be improved, etc. But I think that would be probably something that will work in the near future that we would like to release.
Great, sounds good. Then from Sturgeonator, a 3rd or a 4th competition, and I know he really wants like an FA Cup, like all pyramid style tournament. So but for that. Short to middle term, probably. I think it would be a 3rd competition, probably not 4th at the beginning, and probably we like the FA Cup style. We still haven't really understood or like decide how it could work, and because it's not super easy to make sure especially regarding the rewards. In the end, that's more like the format is easy to do. But then it's like, what rewards do you give? Also, like if we add another 3rd competition, it means that because the number of rewards we can provide, as I explained before, like on the reward, we calculate it, and then there is a kind of a fixed number of rewards that we can give on the per season. And so if we add another competition, we cannot add more rewards because the number of players that would be needed would stay the same, basically. Even though they could increase a bit because you would maybe need to rotate a bit more. So maybe it's not 100% true what I'm saying, but you understand the idea. And so that we will need to reduce a bit the rewards from league and cup to accommodate a new competition, etc. So that creates a lot of things that needs to be defined, and for the moment we haven't really the exact way it could work.
Yeah, I've got a question on that. Not a follow on from that afterwards, but we'll ask the very last when and this was also from Sturge, and it's when extra attributes, for example, for goalkeepers.
For goalkeepers, it's true that it would be nice. For the others also, but I think it would be longer term. It's a huge change. We need a lot of change in the algorithm, etc. So, and also then it creates like more complexity to the game for user acquisition. Also, like we need to think about everything, and so I think it can have like positive stuff, but it could also like make it even more complex for users to join the game, etc. So we'll see longer term stuff.
Awesome! You've passed the when bombardment.
The when investigation.
The when investigation. The one thing I wanted to just touch on back to the FA Cup piece was that, the rewards bit, I can understand why that's, probably one of the pain points about it. And when I was thinking about it the other day, in terms of rewards, in real life, the FA Cup's not even that much of a valuable trophy to win. It's more of just the fact of winning the trophy. And if for a big club, let's say a diamond club, you want the trophy rather than like the rewards. It's more rewarding for smaller clubs, but then how do you then implement that and then say to some of the big clubs, like, you can win this, but it may not be that valuable for you to win it. That's why a lot of big teams rotate because of fatigue into competitions and tournaments. So it's definitely, lots of things to get your head around. And like we always say, we're glad we're not making the decisions on some of them and having sleepless nights over it.
But we will see for this. We really liked it, and Luca was also really liking this FA Cup style, etc. So I think at some point it will probably happen, but not
now. No.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. All right.
I'm surprised that there was just to add to when stuff. Also, I was one thing also that we think would be like, of course, at the moment focusing on season 1, the launch, etc. But at some point there are some other stuff that we want to work on. So club delegation, we mentioned it. There is also something that hasn't been mentioned is like probably something regarding the marketplace that we want to have like better mechanics and the ability to make offers on the website would be super cool. We think it's a feature that is really missing, and that can have a lot of positive effect also on the market because it can create more transfers from user to users, etc. So have a more dynamic market. I think having offers would be a big boost in the market activity. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, and we could combine that also, but it's regarding the player like swapping. As Evaluate stopped working recently. I think that's something that is also missing to be able to exchange player, etc. So that's also something that we would like to have. So I think that's also some stuff that hasn't been mentioned as questions, but that we would also like to improve in probably short term. I think.
Okay, so some short term things that users did not even ask about yet, but indeed that would be good to replace Evaluate for 100%, and offers is really great too.
Has there been more of have you thought about the offers bit more as a result of Evaluate closing down? Or was it always something that you'd thought about you wanted to do, but maybe because they've no longer exist and have that functionality, you've gone, maybe we need to look at this a bit more?
Yeah, of course, it's something that we've always wanted to have on the website, this swapping features, etc., because we think it's pretty cool. Then there's two considerations behind that. Is so first, because we had Evaluate, it was a bit less urgent to do it because there was an alternative that could be used by the players, even if not ideal. And it's a bit the same for offers. Offers, it's you can still do some through Floaty, for example, and but at some point we want to have them on site because we think it's going to be more integrated, more friendly. You don't need to send your users out of the game. So yeah, that's really something that we think could be cool, and especially for the offers, we think it has a good good impact on the marketplace activity, the marketplace dynamic. So that's pretty cool. And for the swapping, then what we want also to see how we would do it is that is it free as it is on Evaluate? Is there a fee? Because at some point it's also we've seen that and we know it is there's also some people that use these swapping tools to avoid our marketplace fees, which is fine when it's like a smaller number of users, but at some point the marketplace fees are part of our business model. It's part of our revenue. We need them, and so we also, even like when people are swapping, we need to see like what could be the options there to maybe get some minimum fees there. Could it be MFL fees also, or like we still need to define that.
Well, this ties in nicely actually with a couple more questions related to that actually. So Dane asked, let's say that about the revenue and Sturge also, like other streams of revenue. So that could be one, or even merch. Sturge asked when merch. so before you told about the aesthetics, right? That's going to be one area. The development center is also kind of some kind of maybe revenue, and marketplace swapping. Have you considered more?
But there's always we have a lot of ideas, especially when you look at real world football. A big part of the revenue of clubs or even leagues, etc., are the sponsoring. So to have external brands to advertise. We think at the moment we're still at the early stage, and it's the number of users that we can offer to our to potential partner is still too small to really have some partners. But that's something that we would like to explore a bit more in the future. Probably something as a more middle long term. It depends also on user growth, etc. But yeah, there could be some. We think that sponsoring is some opportunities. Then some opportunities also for us as revenue is so to add, as I said, like to add some stuff in game that could be some cosmetic or something like that, where we would offer the opportunity for users to spend their MFL, because if they spend their MFL for the cosmetic stuff or for a special development center pass or something like that, then it means that they will that means that we can, it's MFL points that are kind of there's a sink of MFL like that is kind of destroyed,
burnt in a kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's an opportunity for us to sell more players. So yeah, there is we're thinking of that. We are like even though that would be longer term, there could be also like some new assets to the game, like stadiums, like scouts, or this kind of stuff that we are also exploring. So yeah, that's basically it. Regarding merch, to also answer the question, we would love to have merch. It's cool, etc. Then it's all about the priorities. It's hard for us to this kind of stuff takes time. You need to find the provider, to think about shipments, do we ship it, etc. To really find the right partner here. Especially you need to also to ship in all locations, because we have like user base that is based in US, in Europe, in Australia, in New Zealand. So yeah, we have a lot of so you need to have a lot of like place to where to ship. So yeah, it's always regarding the resource that we try to really focus where the priorities are. But yeah, at some point we would like to have this kind of merch stuff, and also in terms of I think in terms of revenue, that would not be a significant revenue, because it's not like to be something that is an interesting revenue. It cannot be just on merch stuff or like that. It would be more like, if we do that, it's more to offer this opportunity for our audience, because we know they want it, and because it can be cool, because it can be also like create nice word of mouth if you have like an MFL jersey or MFL hoodies or something like that. But it won't be a real source of revenue. At least on my side, I don't think it could become something really significant as a revenue source.
Good. Yeah. Now about that, like it would also be cool to have like a sticker or something to spam with a QR, and then anywhere you go in the world, Chinese wall or whatever, you just put that sticker there and then make a photo. That's those things. But yeah, I can imagine for you guys, it's not like major priority, major revenue. A lot of extra work going into that. All right, I think we're approaching already 2 hours, I see. So maybe, I have one very good final question. Well, kind of a joke. And yes, well, maybe you can do that. I don't know, Jimbo, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this one question here from Duff's quite interesting. Like I think I understand this question, but I might twist it slightly. So in terms of updates and features, maybe like the engine, for example, in future seasons, will it be that each season will have the engine for the whole season, or could there be updates being introduced mid-season, or is it each season is almost like it's separate environment or separate, do you see what I'm trying to ask there? Yeah.
No, but for sure, and actually that's something that we've tried, and I think that we've done for almost all alpha season, is that we didn't do any engine change during the mid-season. Like it's always at the end of the season. So I think we will continue with that to be able to be more consistent for each season. So yeah, we don't plan to change the engine in the middle of a season, and yeah.
So
nice.
Okay. Then I think we have a great final question. Well, it's a little bit of a joke, but or you can be very dead serious about it. But questions from Duff: when secret project?
Whoa, the secret project.
Yeah. the legend of the secret project. The good thing is that you can literally point everything we had developed in the past months as a secret project.
Yeah.
It. So you can say season 1 was secret project.
No, but yeah, and actually for regarding secret project, I think at some point we will explain what it was. I just don't want to do it right now. I think I could be doing it, but it's just that I haven't spoke about it to the team, and I don't want to do it without asking their opinion and something like that. But I think I think at some point we could release it, because I don't think it's a big deal, and I would love to do it at some point, but we need to see. Maybe another time I can we communicate on it.
Okay. Oh, good to know. I like the running gag that we just keep asking about it. So
no, but this is really a running gag. I think it started. I think we started to work on it 1 year ago. And we even hired, like, we had an intern that was his full-time project, etc. So yeah, it was really something that we spent time on, and then as other priorities started to come, etc., we just it kind of slips, and we didn't prioritize it in the end. But I think it will come back on the table at some point.
Okay, great. Good to know. We'll keep asking in the chat, etc.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're at the end of a long but amazing conversation. Right.
Indeed, a very, very interesting conversation, a great one at that. I think, Mathurin, I want to say, do you have a final message to our listeners, the ML community, ahead of season 1 that you want to just end on?
Yeah, but I think the message right now is that we are super excited for season 1. I think it's going to be a great improvement to the game. These new features will really create we'll get closer to the game that we are envisioning and that we want to build. So super excited for that. I think it's going to be really cool to see player progressing, the promotion relegation. It will create really a new it's a new era, I think, for MFL. So it's super cool. And also as usual, because I think we've said it a lot, but thanks to everyone for being there, because it's the support that you're giving us on Discord, on Twitter, it's a lot, actually. And it means a lot, because it's what helps us and what drives us to always improve, always create, and making sure that we are going to the right direction, etc. So it's to be honest, I don't think we would have managed to do that without the community that we have, and without the support that we have from the community, also from you guys. Jimbo, Calva, a lot of thanks for this podcast, because it's amazing. I think it started a bit more than 1 year ago now.
Yeah,
yes,
11 months ago, something like that. Yeah.
Oh well, 60 episodes, so that's more, right?
Yeah,
1 year, 1 month, I think. Yeah.
So that's super cool to see that, and to be here speaking with you, and so yeah. Thanks. That's my message. I think it's going to be exciting, and thank you all. If I had to summarize it.
Awesome.
No, I think we need to say thank you to you and the rest of MFL team. Really, you talked about it earlier on in this episode, but we want to say it's a big, huge congratulations to you all on this achievement. And the announcement of season 1, it's something that you and I'm sure the rest of the NFL team has worked ridiculously hard on for countless years. And I think you said the NFL's been, for about 3 years or so, just over 3 years. Yeah. And all feels like, it's all come down towards season 1. It's that massive, massive milestone. So we want to say thank you on your part, and a big congratulations for this milestone we're about to reach.
But thank you. And actually it's what is super good is that we are having fun doing it. It's
That's really
it's super cool. We are passionate, and we are when you have found when you have managed to create a team that is super motivated, passionate, and that is good also, that is skilled. That's amazing to work, and I couldn't be more happy and proud to work with Yann, to work with Luca, to work with Quentin, that are just amazing people, and super smart work and super efficient. I don't know how to phrase it, but and same for Luca. When you want something to be done, it's always done super well, and with a high quality standard of execution. So that's the dream, kind of, to work in this condition.
Great. Yeah, milestone for everyone, and it's really good, as you said before, not ask when, but just also celebrate it, appreciate community, appreciate the team, everyone, and let's start of season 1.
Look behind at what you've achieved, not always just focusing on when.
Yeah.
So hashtag time.
We do the hashtag now, yeah. So we are reaching that point in the episode, part 2 episode, where we want you to prove that you've been listening. So we give out a hashtag, and so many times we've had a hashtag that begins with when. Even more recently, when season 1. Amount of people that say when season 1. However, when is now. Hashtag when is now. No more of this when season 1. It's now season 1. So to make sure you've been listening, post on Twitter, X, or Discord, hashtag when is now. So we're gonna round things up there. First of all, Mathurin, thank you so very much for your second appearance on the podcast. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure to chat with you, and once again, thank you for this amazing podcast. It's super good to have passionate people like yourself to talk about MFL, and we really appreciate it.
Well, we
Thanks
wouldn't
a lot.
be
Yes.
wouldn't be here without you and your great team. So so yeah, there we go. So there we have it. Hashtag when is now. Thank you all so very much for listening, and we'll see you not this time next week, on Monday, for the next episode of the When Dirt Cast. Thank you for listening.